Good afternoon. Welcome to Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly, and boy, is my lighting horrible in here today. I'm I'm still dinking with it. I don't have it set yet. I'll keep working on it. It will improve eventually, I swear. Let me test out the chat, make sure that's working. There we go. All right, we're on live chat. So, how are you today? I'm good. Well rested. I got my nap. I needed it. Hopefully, it'll keep me from nodding off during the stream here. All right. So, Afternoon Chat is a live chat show where the star are actually the people that are in the chat. I'm not really here. No, I'm not AI. I'm a real guy sitting on a real couch. Okay. But I don't want to be the star of the show. I want the live chat to be the star of this show. Back in the day, all right, and that's quite a while back. I used to enjoy getting into chat rooms where there was no specific topic. You didn't know what you were going to be talking about from minute to minute. And I enjoyed that quite a bit. And years later, I get back in and I can't find an open chat room. All I find are structured chat rooms. They want to talk about entertainment news, or they want to talk about political news, or they want to talk about sports. I don't want to choose the topic. I want the chat room to determine what they want to discuss. Not just day to day, but, maybe we'll have 20 different topics in a day. The show I named Afternoon Chat is Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That lines up the three main time zones of the continental United States. Okay. That was my initial plan. Once the chat gets populated, if we decide to alter the hours, so be it. I'm open to go with the flow. I created Ghost Mostly Media, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I know I wanted to create the live chat channel, but I have no other plans at this point. I'm hoping to get ideas. What do people want to see? It's going to take a while to populate the chat. YouTube's algorithm has to analyze the show and determine where we fit in the mix. And once they do that, they'll put one of the appropriate people, and the chat should populate rapidly at that point. For right now, all you got's me. So if you ever wanted to have a discussion with your TV, now's your chance. You have to use a phone, a tablet, or a computer of some type. Go to the YouTube homepage and download their Discord server. And then you'll have to enable the chat on your television if you want to see it scroll by. I'll do my best to read the chats and we'll have a discussion. Everyone is welcome. I want this channel to be inclusive, not exclusive. The name Ghost mostly came from my old songwriting. I used to have a band, a blues band, and we wrote a lot of songs. I didn't want the band to owe me any money or any publicity, so I became a ghostwriter. And the nickname Ghost, mostly when I started this project, I just carried that alias forward. I liked it. It's got a little ring to it, in my opinion. Okay. But I plan to basically disappear into the woodwork once the chat appears, once it populates, as I really want the chat to control this stream. That's the way it used to work back in the day. I don't want to put my thumb on the scale and lean us one way or the other. I don't care what your political preferences are, your religious preferences. Doesn't matter to me. We can discuss anything you want. I'm one of the few people you're going to find on your TV that's not trying to sell you something. You'll find no mid-roll ads. You'll find no sponsors, no anything. I'm not trying to hustle you. I'm not trying to manipulate you. Not trying to control you in any way whatsoever. Within reason. I mean, for the chat room, I do ask that you follow YouTube's community guidelines that they've set up. Let's not get YouTube pissed off at us. They'll kick me off the air. I want to be on the air, so let's follow their rules, and we're going to get along great. The viewers, I have different levels that I have to hit as far as YouTube is concerned, milestones or short-term goals. I need, first off, I need to get the likes, then I need the subscribers, and then I need viewing hours. So, I guess in the subscribers, I need 1,000. I think I have 5. I haven't looked it up in a week. I don't know. All right. Viewing hours, I'm not sure what I'm at now. I think I need 4,000 hours, and I think I'm probably around 40 hours. I got a long way to go on both of those categories. I'm not, excuse me, I'm not sure why I got to get the likes. To be honest with you, I would think that if people are watching, that would be good enough. But for whatever reason, that's what YouTube is telling me I need to do. Get likes, get subscribers, and get viewing hours. These are all short-term goals that they've set up. We'll get there eventually. There's no rush. When I decided to start this project, I thought, boy, it's going to take a long time to build up a community that wants to chat 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. But I promised myself that I'd do it for 3 years. I think that would give it a fair shot. We'll see how it goes. I think we're closing on being a month into this now. I think Friday will make a month, something like that. But, it is what it is. We'll hit our goals eventually, and I'll fix the lighting eventually. Well, this is not a studio. This is my living room. Okay. I've invited the world into my living room to have a conversation. What's so odd about that? It's 2025. Okay. We have the technology. Let's do it. Originally, most of my adult life, I was in Las Vegas, Nevada. I worked in the casino industry, specifically in table games, blackjack, craps, roulette, so on. I got used to meeting a lot of people. And in my retirement or semi retirement, now that I'm doing this, I miss meeting all those people. So I thought if I create the chat room, I can meet people again. Satisfies a need for me, fills an emptiness that was in my life, So that's my goal. Not to make money, not to get rich. No, no, my goal is not to hustle you out of a dime. There is some type of membership thingy, but I'm not sure I activated it. So, you know, I'll worry about that next month. It's not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to go anywhere. Initially, we had some mechanical issues. And initially, I thought it was all my equipment. Then I found out it wasn't. And then I thought it was all Spectrum, my internet service provider. Yeah, I thought it was all their equipment. And it wasn't. We replaced all the equipment and I was still getting kicked off. I couldn't have a successful 2-hour live stream. So, long story short, I've had to hardwire my laptop directly to my router. That got rid of the problem. It eliminated our problem. Our streams are no longer getting interrupted. Everything's running nice and smooth the way it's supposed to. And now all we got to do is become reliable, become dependent, become a constant. If every Monday through Friday a person can turn on their TV and jump in with their phone and chat and have a conversation, we'll be happy. It'll all work. I was actually sitting in my living room and I was watching YouTube, and I'm like, well, if that's owned by Google and my laptop was designed by Google, all this equipment should work. And lo and behold, it does. Imagine that. The technology is functioning as it's supposed to. Well, thank goodness. I'm not in any hurry to, this will happen. It's going to take time. YouTube has got to sort this thing out and determine what we're doing. They're professionals. They'll get it eventually. Eventually, this show will be put in the recommended column on the YouTube app. Okay. But they have to analyze the show and determine who to put it in front of. And, big hint here, put it in front of people that want to chat. Okay. It's, start with those that have the Discord app, and then we'll move forward from there. I don't care what your age is. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what race you are. I'm willing to talk. I would like to talk. Go to YouTube, download the Discord app, and activate the chat, and we'll go from there. It does not cost you anything to watch this show. Not a dime. You can like and subscribe without spending a dime, right? The three things I need to keep YouTube happy: likes, subscriptions, and viewing hours. They're all free. There's no charge for any of it. Eventually, if you want to just support the channel, I'll activate all the membership crapola. But for right now, let's not worry about that. Let's worry about getting people into the chat and having an actual conversation. Well, we've got several different obstacles. I mean, nobody knows that we're here from 3 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time. The show didn't used to be here, and now all of a sudden it's appeared. Nobody knows what it is. Well, they'll figure it out eventually. All we got to do is be patient, wait. We get viewers every day. I have not been into the analytics of the channel. I don't pay attention to the details. Okay. I'm a rounded off kind of guy. All right. As long as it's functioning mechanically and it's working, eventually the people will find us on their own, or YouTube will sort us out and put us in front of the people we need to be seen by. It's all going to happen eventually. In the meantime, let's take advantage of the fact that we don't have a chat room full of bots. Right? I've got it set on live chat, and anyone that gets in and types in a single word, it's going to print out. I'll read it. We'll have a discussion about whatever the topic. And hopefully people will find out that they can get their voice heard on this channel daily. Well, Monday through Friday. When the membership area fills up, we'll determine what to do for those people. I don't want to decide what to do for them when I don't know what they want, right? It'd be kind of absurd for me to say, oh, if you become a member, I'm going to give you X, Y, and Z, when you may not want X or Y. You may only want Z. How would I know? Right? So when the membership fills up, if they want a private chat on a Saturday evening or something, as long as it doesn't interfere with me watching my football team, it's okay with me. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to adjust. We can fine tune this thing. Well, hopefully right now, Miss Crumbelina is looking to fill out this white wall behind me and put something with some color back there. Right now, it's a white wall. It's currently got too much light on it, and it's reflecting. We'll get all this stuff worked out eventually. Eventually, I'll put a shirt with a collar on and might even brush my hair more than once a day. You never know. I mean, miracles can happen. Eventually, I might find a way to get the glare off my glasses. It bugs me every day. I want you to be able to see my eyes, squinty as they may be. Right now, I think this kind of looks like it's a black and white television. I see a little bit of difference between the screen on my laptop and the screen on my television, but it's minimal. I'm looking at the shine on this side of my face and the shadow on this side of my face. And I'm thinking, I got to balance that out. I had a photography class with lighting and whatnot, but I'm probably going to end up having to, I'm undoubtedly going to have to go to diffused lighting. It's a softer light that won't cast a shadow. We'll see how it works out. In the meantime, the video is working, the stream is working, the audio is working. So we've got some pluses going on here. They're just hard to see amongst the catastrophe of me being on TV. Yeah, a little tongue twister there. I'm just a guy sitting on his couch. All right. It costs me $13.99 a month to do this. That's it. So let's go. I got it covered. You know, I can fade to $13.99 a month all on my own. It's amazing, isn't it? I smoke cigarettes and marijuana. I smoke the cigarettes to keep from smoking so much marijuana. And I smoke the marijuana to keep from smoking so many cigarettes. It's amazing how that works for me. I don't recommend that you do either. I don't recommend that anybody does anything that I do. What makes me so special? I mean, well, I feel special. Don't get me wrong. No, I'm just saying in some areas of the world, marijuana is not legal. And I would never encourage anyone to break the law. Right? And it's proven that cigarettes are detrimental to your health. So I would never recommend those. That's just me. These are my habits. I don't expect them to become yours. Matter of fact, I'd prefer it if they didn't become yours. I have plenty of bad habits. I'm not trying to brag about them, but I do, you know. I spent all my life dealing with my addictive personality. The first one and the hardest one was alcohol. I used to drink till I blacked out. Yeah, it took me, I don't know, mid-30s. I'd say 35, 36, somewhere in there before I could put that bottle down. I was weak. I got control over it eventually. I think learning from your mistakes is probably just normal human behavior. And some lessons it takes us longer to learn than others. Well, as much as we're all the same as far as being human beings, we are each also individuals and quite unique in many, many ways, all at the same time. It's amazing how that works. But this show is going to progress. It will grow. It'll just take time. Once people find out that I don't care what they talk about in here, it's probably going to go nuts, realistically. YouTube's guidelines, their community guidelines are good with me, you know. I'm working on what I'm doing. You guys fix what you're doing, and, you know, it'll all work out. after each show, I go for a walk because I've been sitting for 2 hours. And then I come home, I make my dinner, and I generally watch the day's live stream to see what I need to work on. I'm trying to improve myself and the show. I'm trying to make it, you know, acceptable. This lighting, while it may be lopsided, it's adequate. You know, if there's chat written, you can see that with the black background of my sofa. Okay. So hopefully it'll highlight the white lettering so that you'll be able to read it. But I'm also planning to read it. Back in the day when we used to get into, well, when I used to get into the chat rooms, we talked about everything. And you used to learn things. People that are knowledgeable about something would tell us something, and you can take in that information and glean some of it and lock it into your brain and use it in your future. It was helpful. Anything from cooking to automotive repairs. Okay, I don't care what people talk about. It's fine with me. If I don't know anything about a subject, I'll shut up and listen. I might learn something. Never know. While I was in Vegas working on the table games, I would get a chance to talk to people. I'd find out where they were from, how many kids they had, what they did for a living, what was going on in their area of the world. And you're when you're talking to somebody one on one like that, it has more meaning to me than watching a taped news broadcast or something to that effect. Well, our news nowadays here in America, I can't speak for the rest of the world, but here it's all propaganda. These people have college degrees in how to manipulate us, how to control us, how to bait us and switch us, you know. They're hiding as much news as they're presenting, sometimes more. It's like what did I catch today? The United Nations came out and said that what's going on in Gaza is a genocide. But in the USA, my news doesn't come on and say Israel is committing genocide. No, they're saying they're going to occupy Gaza. Not that they're targeting and shooting children in the head. Okay. Not that they're blowing up hospitals, They're hiding as much news to us as they're presenting. And then what they're presenting is their opinion. It's all biased. None of it is unbiased. You really need to pick and choose your spots nowadays because a lot of what they're presenting us with is just bunk. Well, they're lying to you or trying to control you or manipulate you based off of greed. They're attempting to make money. Okay. At everyone's expense. They don't care who it costs. They just want to make money. So if they're lying to you, it's profit based, right? Or trying to scare you. A lot of what I see on TV nowadays is fear based, right? They want to scare you into tuning into their channel. They want to make you think in a certain way, or they're only showing you one side of a news story, right? It's interesting to me to watch these guys on the different networks and how they're willing to bend over backwards, and I don't know, it's like they don't have the same morals and ethics that the rest of us have. If you look at just say like Fox, right? You think that everything's going along nice and smooth. It's not. And if you look at, say, MSNBC, you think it's a Nazi resurgence and they're getting ready to take over the world. That's not. It's not the whole story, right? From what I see, from my opinion, I see Trump doing a lot of authoritarian moves. Okay. But most of what I see him doing is performative drama. He's making drama where there is none to hide his actual actions. By the time he gets out of office, there'll probably be a new Trump Tower in 20 different countries, right? Based on his tariff policies. It's like, he put across these blanket tariffs and he sat back and he said, "Now, let's see who's willing to bribe me." These guys are all taking bribes. They're all selling each other out. They're all selling us out. It's greed. They think that as long as they're getting the money, their actions are all justified. Here in the United States, we're deporting a lot of people. We're doing mass deportations. The reason, somebody's turning a profit. Somebody's making bank. That's the whole reason. Most of these people weren't doing nothing to anybody. They were working. They were paying their taxes. They were being good little citizens, even if they didn't have citizenship status, right? They want you to think that they're all killers and they're all criminals. That's why the news is on there showing you all these killers and criminals all the time. They don't show you when people are nice and neighborly and friendly. They ignore that it's even happening, but it's happening every day. Well, let me ask you, yesterday, you were out in the world yesterday. How many criminals did you see? I didn't see any. And I was out and about yesterday. I went to breakfast at 9 a.m. By 10:30, I was grocery shopping. By 12, I was doing laundry. Okay. I came in, I did my podcast for 2 hours. Then I went for a walk in the park. I didn't see any criminals anywhere. I didn't see any crime. I didn't see any violence. I didn't see it. It didn't happen. But if I turned on my TV last night, it was all war, confrontation. It's all violence. It's all ugly. It's all gross. Oh, we need the military to come in and protect us from all the crime. Where's the goddamn... Excuse me. Don't let me get too fired up and start cursing. I apologize. Where's the crime? You can punch it up on Google if you like. What is the crime rate for the population of the United States of America? There are over 340 million people here, and the crime has never, ever in the history of America exceeded 7% of the population. That means for all of time, since America was created, 93% of us have all been good, upstanding citizens, never hurting anybody, never cheating anybody, never stealing from anybody. 93% versus 7%. And of the 7% that's been criminal, they don't stay criminal their whole life. The 20-year-old that steals a car, he does not become a lifelong criminal. Number one, if he did, the criminals don't live that long. They get killed, either by the law enforcement or other criminals. Does crime pay in the United States of America? I'm going to tell you, yes, it does. But not on the level of robbing the 7-Eleven on the corner drugstore. The crime is deporting 200,000 people in a year for profit. That's a crime. All right. In my opinion. My little disclaimer. The only perspective I know is my own until you get into this chat room and you tell me your perspective. What do you see from atop your couch? When you open your front door and you look out, do you see 17 criminals running around with AK-47s? I don't. I don't see them. I don't see them because we outnumber them. The good guys outnumber the bad guys almost 10-1. It's 93% versus 7%. And that kid that stole a car at 20 years old, by the time he's 40 and he's got a kid on the way and he's got a job and he's got a house payment and he's got a car payment, he's not robbing anybody. He's trying to get past his past mistakes. He's trying to move forward. That's where his future is. He has no future as a criminal. He was a dang car thief. He can't survive in the criminal underworld. He's too petty. He's too small time. He is a victim. Right? He made a mistake when he was 20 years old because he had nothing to lose. He had nothing at risk. When by the time he's 40 and he's got kids and he's got responsibilities and he's got a life, he has something vested into life and he has something to lose. So he's not committing any crimes. When was the last time that you thought you had a thought, oh, I need to run out and kill someone today? It never happened. No. If you are thinking that, you probably need some counseling. Okay. You probably need to get some help. You've probably been radicalized by the news. If you shut that news off, you can get some actual peace of mind because you're not going to see that crime in your everyday life. It's just not there. Open your front door, point to the criminal. You don't see it, it's not there. Is there crime? Yes. But this is a big country. There's a lot of people here. And while, 2 days ago, we had a shooter running around blowing away somebody, there were 339 million and change of us that weren't shooting anybody, that weren't hurting anybody, that weren't planning to hurt anyone. The good outnumber the bad, and that's not just in this country, it's globally. It's like the Russian people. I met a number of Russians while I was working in Vegas. Okay. They were nice people. The Germans were nice. The Italians were nice. The French were nice. The British were nice. The Canadians were nice. The Mexicans were nice. Everybody's nice. I'm telling you. The Russian people don't want to make war. The Russian government does. Okay. The people don't want war. Take a look at America, right? We don't want war with anybody. We're not thinking about hurting people. We're not wanting to steal from people. It's not in our nature. But people get radicalized. They get hypnotized or brainwashed, if you will. My father, he thinks the United States is the most safe country in the world. He frets about it. And I turn around and I tell him, who's the bad guy? Point him out. He can't. He doesn't see the crime till he turns on his TV. It's not in his life. Yeah, it's all brainwashing, right? They're manipulating people. They're brainwashing people. They want you to fear because they know that your fear they can capitalize on. If you can control your fears for 5 minutes, they can't make you do spit. Right? Uncontrolled fear is the issue. So if you're watching your local news and it's got you afraid to walk out your front door, shut off the news. Turn it off. Self-censorship. Protect yourself from the bad guys, and they're the bad guys. They're making you feel like it's doom and gloom. It's not doom and gloom. Sure, some of what goes on in the world is nasty. It's horrible, like war. The Ukraine war is really nasty. Okay. But that's not the way of life for 99% of the planet. Okay. It's just not. My daily Gatorade. That's how you know the show's live. I'm drinking my Gatorade. I don't mean to harp like but it seems absurd to me, and I feel ashamed that my 87-year-old father thinks that there's crime everywhere in America when there's just not. Is there crime? Yes. But there's also law enforcement. Okay. If there's 7% of our population is criminal, and of that 7%, 2 million of them are already behind bars. Try to convince me that our existing police force does not outnumber the number of criminals. I can plainly see that they do. I can walk down the street and not see crime. It's brainwashing, plain and simple. They're convincing you that it's all doom and gloom. They're convincing you that everybody's a bad guy. If you're a Democrat, they're convincing you that the Republican is a Nazi. He's not. They're convincing you that the Latino population is all murderers and rapists and they must be deported, and they're not. You think all Latinos are criminals? You're a fool. Okay. I'm sorry, and there's no nicer way to put it. You are a fool if you think that all black people are bad. If you think that all Italian people are bad, you're a fool. Okay? You need to wake up and educate yourself. Okay? It's just not true. Okay? On the same token, I can't say that every Latino is perfect. I can't say that every Italian is perfect. I can't even say that I'm perfect. But what I'm telling you is that, did you wake up today and say, "Oh, I gotta come up with a plan to rob the 7-Eleven tomorrow"? No, never entered your mind. Why? Because you're not a crook. Okay, gosh, it's absurd to me the way they convince us of all this stuff. I see the good old fashioned publicity stunt. Okay, back in the day, an actor wanted to get a role, and he didn't get any decent acting jobs offered to him. Nobody knew he was around, so he went. Damn, I must today. I don't know why. He went out and staged some type of press event of a misdemeanor crime, petty theft, right? So that his name would get into the news. Well, that's where we're at nowadays, only they're committing large petty thefts with large publicity coverage to get our attention. It's like the old news teaser, right? It comes on, it flashes across the screen for 10 seconds. Mother of 2 found ... Found what? She found a lottery ticket? Or she found her way into a busy traffic lane? What'd she find? Well, news is at 11. You'll have to tune in. It's a story. Whose mother? You know, they're just trying to control you, trying to manipulate you, trying to get you to tune into their channel. I'm not falling for that crap anymore. News story at 11? Fine. If I'm around at 11, I might look it up, but I doubt it. Because their news is tainted. It's not the full story. When I was a kid, Walter Cronkite and then Dan Rather, Eric Sevareid, these guys, they presented the news, right? It's not like that anymore, right? Well, number one, the corporations own the news media. So if your news station is owned by AT&T and you could be broadcasting a negative story about AT&T, do you think they're going to let you? No. They're going to shut you down. And that's what's going on all over America. The billionaire class, the people with all the big money, are throwing their money around, and they're controlling what we see, what we do. They're the ones with sick motives. And most of it is greed. It's like when Trump was inaugurated, I looked and I counted all the dang billionaires, and I'm like, well, a year from now, all those clowns will be. Well, I've known people with money. I've seen them in my lifetime, and I know that they can't do what you and I do, or what I used to do. They can't hold down a job. They can't work a 40-hour week. It's impossible for them to. They might call it work, but they're out on the golf course with their buddies. Okay. They're not working, right? They're just not. They can't. If you're a billionaire, all your billionaire buddies are going to call you up and say, hey, we're all going to Cancun next week. Are you coming? And you say, no, I don't have any vacation time. I got to work. A billionaire never said that in his life. Okay. They're lazy and spoiled. They can't hold down a job like you and I. They can't work a 40-hour week, 50 weeks a year. They cannot do it. It's impossible for them. I seen the billionaire. We got to build him a helipad so he can fly into work. And he flies into work, and then he's gone by noon. He didn't even whole day. Right? These guys can't work a 40-hour week. They're too pampered. They're too spoiled. They get to have their own way. And if you're golfing a 5-hour round of golf, that's not being on the job. I'm sorry. It's just not. Same thing as if you're sitting in a restaurant having a 2-martini lunch. That's not working. I don't care how many backroom deals you can pull out of your sleeve. That's not working a job. Not the way you and I work a job. You and I work a job. We clock in at 9. We don't clock out till 5. We've been there. We're accountable for what we did all day long, right? Not these billionaires. It's not going to happen. They're in there to do some theft, some greed related corruption. That's all they're there for. Once they're done with their crime, and they'll get that done in the first 30 days, then they're going to be too busy to work there anymore. They can't hang out, right? It's like, you're Elon Musk, dude, right? he couldn't even make it 6 months, right? 130 days and he's out of there, right? What's Doge doing now? Well, and where's all the money that they saved us? Where's it stacked? Oh, there is no money. It was all a scam, right? They went in there so they could get the best database in the world. That's all it was. They went in to steal all of our private information. Had nothing to do. There was no corruption going on, right? How many people do you see getting hauled in front of a court of law for all this corruption that supposedly was in the government? There wasn't any, right? The system, the monstrosity that it was functional. Okay. I'm not sure it's functional anymore. But they all had an ulterior motive, and it's not what they're telling you it is. Right? There was no waste. There was no fraud. There was no corruption. The corruption and waste and fraud is what these guys that said that they were going to find it, it was all done by them. Okay. They didn't find anything. Otherwise, you'd be seeing it. They'd be perp walking them across the news. Johnny Doe caught stealing millions of dollars from Social Security. Oh, there is no Johnny Doe being charged. Because why? No one was stealing from Social Security. You got to be a fool to fall for this stuff. Don't fall for it. It's all fear. There's something big over here you don't understand, you don't know anything about, and we're going to tell you that it's full of waste, fraud, and abuse. And we're going to get in there and we're going to sort all this out. Right? They didn't sort anything out. They took what they wanted and then they skedaddled. They headed for the hills. 4 years from now, all the crap will come out. All right. Then we're going to find out. It's just like your life. Okay. You look back 10 years ago in your life and now you can find out, well, so-and-so was hooking up with so-and-so. Well, I didn't know that at the time. Well, it all comes out in the end. And in the long run, we're going to find out all the crimes of this administration. All right. When it comes to this whole Epstein fiasco, right? We're going to find out, oh, so-and-so destroyed evidence. So-and-so is being charged with spoliation of evidence. Or we're going to redo this whole investigation. We're going to find out, yada, yada, yada. They've got all the information. They're hiding it from us. They don't want us to know. Epstein was running women. He was a pimp. We don't need to know how many pimps or how many times Bill Clinton went to the cocktail party at the pimp's house. We don't need to know that. What we want to know is who paid the pimp. Pull out the financial records. Who was funneling money to the pimp? Because I guarantee you he was getting something in exchange for them girls and them women. I guarantee you he was turning a profit off of. That's what they're doing. They're running women, right? Trafficking in human beings. They were all paying each other. There's a paper trail. If they can come up with a paper trail on you and me, There's a paper trail for that dead pimp. I guarantee you. And all these people that think they're getting away with murder right now, running around destroying evidence, blacking out names, and we're going to lie about this, we're going to lie about that. It'll all come out in the wash. It may take 10 years, right? Hell, we're still looking at the JFK assassination, and that was what, 63, 64, in there somewhere, right? This stuff lingers on for decades and decades, and you just can't sweat it. There ain't nothing you can do about it if you're you and me, right? The liars are going to lie, the cheaters are going to cheat, and they're going to lose in the long run because nobody's going to love them, nobody's going to care about them, nobody's going to be there for them, right? Yeah, you see it all the time, right? It's just like these war crimes that they're committing down outside of Venezuela, just blowing up boats, supposedly with drugs and supposedly with drug dealers. Well, we will never know. They destroyed all the evidence. They blew them all up. What happens if there wasn't any drugs on those boats? What happens if those drug dealers had fishing poles? All right. It's absurd. They lie to us and they tell us what they think that we need to hear in order to control us and in order to manipulate us. Turn the news off. Don't watch that crapola. Don't let it cloud up your brain. You don't need to know that. If you're getting radicalized to the point where you think that it's up to you to lash out and hit that person, or it's up to you to lash out and shoot a gun at that person, you need some help. Get some counseling and get it quick. You got to shut that news off. It's just bunk. That seriously, don't listen to it. You want to know what's going on in the war? Tune into the Enforcer. Like 10 after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday through Sunday. They show video evidence, not doctored video evidence, but they show actual video evidence. There's no missing minutes, okay? It's not like Epstein's murder video. Yeah, there's no missing minutes. They show you what they can prove. We got proof that this drone flew into this truck and blew it up. Here's the video, right? It's a couple of young brothers. They, I believe they're in Alabama. They glean all of social media and pull out what they can prove. And then they present it in a very fast-paced, direct, in-your-face way. You know they're not feeding you a bunch of bunk. They try to make light of it, but they're showing war. And it's hard to make light of war. It really is. Because war is heinous. Okay. But, I watch them. If you want to see a Democratic point of view on something, I watch Ben Meiselas. If I want to see a Republican point of view on something, I generally go to YouTube and I'll pick and choose my spots. And they change quite often because the narrative changes quite often on the right. Right now, they're trying to push hard against the transgender community. So they're tainting a lot of their conspiracy theories in that direction. Don't believe it. I've met a number of transsexuals, and they're not out to hurt anybody. They're not violent. They're the victims of violence most times. If you look up the life expectancy of a black man that is transitioned into a black woman, or a trans female, if you will, uh, their life expectancy is low. They don't live past 30. It's just disgusting. These are victims. This country has had bathroom laws for decades. We don't need any new bathroom laws. Someone wants to go to the restroom, allow them to go to the restroom. It's no, they're kicking on the little guy once again. You know, you didn't get enough from kicking the black man around for 50 years. You're gonna have to kick the transgenders around. Leave people alone. You don't have to pick on other people in order to have quality in your life. These people are picking on each other. It's a conscious decision by them. Prejudice. That's what it boils down to. They fear what they don't understand. These are generally undereducated, low IQ individuals. That's the way it appears to me. You don't have to pick on people in order to have quality of life. It's human nature to lash out, but we mature and we learn, and our society does not allow us to lash out in a physical manner. You can say something bad about somebody, but you don't have a right to hit them. You can say something against what somebody is saying, but you don't have a right to shoot them. You just don't. Some of these people are getting so caught up into lashing out that they're going overboard. And when they go overboard, they're going to find themselves charged with a crime. When you get charged with a crime, you're going to find yourself convicted, and then you're going to find yourself behind bars. And behind bars is not where you want to be. There's no quality of life there. There's no value in that kind of a life. If you want to add value to your life, add love, add add friendship, camaraderie, brotherhood. Okay. Whenever people collaborate, they succeed. History is the proof. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. But some of these people are very petty. In America, the Civil Rights Act came through, 65, something like that, in excess of 50 years ago. And these people that are still holding on to their prejudice, that's their uncontrolled fears. It's a shame that they have to be afraid of their own shadow, but they are. Okay? You can't force people to grow up. They've got to do it on their own. The same people that they're demonizing and they're lashing out against are the only ones that are going to be able to save them. When the natural disaster hits and we're all standing in chest high water, the guy that comes through with a boat and a hand out to help you out of the water, you don't care what religion he is. You don't care what political affiliation he is. You don't care about his age. You don't care about anything except getting your butt out of the water. And it's my belief that the good guys are all of us. So if the roles were reversed and that other guy's the one that's in the chest deep water and you're the one in the boat, are you going to cruise past him or are you going to pick him up? I know you're going to pick him up. You're going to get him out of the water. You're going to offer him a helping hand. That's an American. Okay. That's what we do. We're good people, right? We're not going to sit back and pop open a beer and watch you drown. That's not going to happen. But they want you to think that it's going to happen. I don't care if that guy's got a MAGA hat on. Get him out to water. You're the one that's there. You're the one with the opportunity to save him. And I know you're going to do the right thing. I know you're going to save him. Okay. That's just the way it is. This is the way we are raised. These are our values, our morals, our ethics, right? We all have those. But so does the Russian citizen, and so does the French citizen, and so does the German citizen. They all have the same morals. They all have the same ethics. They all have the same values. They're all good people. Their government might be corrupt as hell. Their government might be doing bad things, but not the people. The people are good. I spent in excess of 30 years meeting people from all over the globe, and I liked everybody. I got along with everybody. I got smiles from people that I had language barriers with, and we couldn't even speak. Okay. They know enough to smile. The same as you would know enough to smile if you're in their country and you didn't speak their language. Right? Some things are just natural for human beings. Okay. Remember, we're all unique, yes, but in so many ways, we're all the same. Well, let's talk this out. You think a Democrat loves his mother? You think a Republican loves his mother? I think so. We're all the same. We all love our mother. Okay. That's ground one. What about your sisters and your brothers? Do you love them? Well, yes. Well, so does the Catholic. So does the Hindu. So does every religion. We have more common ground than you're being led to believe. Okay. And anytime you see a newscaster that's telling you so and so is conspiring against you, so and so is out to hurt you, they're lying to you. That newscaster is lying to you. They're trying to control and manipulate you for some nefarious reason, probably related to greed. I'm pointing a lot today. Have you noticed? I don't mean to. I'll probably critique that later. I'm not getting too fired up today. I am rambling a bit, but I'm not getting angry or anything. I just know that people are inherently good. They have a conscience. They care. Yeah, you may get some that are radicalized, but it's only temporary. They don't stay radicalized their entire life. They come back around, they learn, they get educated, and all of a sudden something sinks in, and then they walk around carrying a terrible guilt most of their life for something that they did that was wrong in their youth. Stress is killing everybody. And the best way to alleviate stress is to communicate with people. Thus, we have a chat room so that we can all get in here and communicate as freely as we'd like. But they can't convince me that you're a bad person. I don't care how many shooters they show me on the news. I know that the average guy is not wanting to hurt a soul. He's not wanting to murder someone. But if you watch the news, you're going to think everybody in America's got a gun and they want to kill you. And it's just not true. Now, I'm not saying there aren't 40 guys out in the woods running around in their pajamas dreaming about World War III, but they've been radicalized. They've been conditioned to think that way. And until they get some counseling, they won't learn a different way, unfortunately. I recommend counseling to anyone and everyone. I think it's a good thing. Stress is killing people all over the planet. Don't let these things eat you from the inside out. Go the opposite way. Talk about these things that are concerning you. It'll do you good to hear someone else's opinion on your thoughts. Might give you some insight as to you and where you're at and where you're headed. If you take the time to talk to people, they talk back. It's amazing how that works. If you have a conversation with people, you learn things. And a lot of times what you learn is very, very helpful. I don't have all the answers, but I know that if we collaborate long enough, often enough, we'll come up with the answers. We'll find the solutions together. What I think the biggest problem in America is the money in politics. The corporations that are literally starting wars so that they can turn a profit. Right? It's a vicious little triangle between the people with money and the politicians and the media. It's just a vicious little triangle, and they're all passing the same check around, right? It's kind of sad. They could do something good with their money. Right now, for-profit healthcare seems to be the worst. Yeah, if you have to go to a hospital in America, I think it's going to cost you between $8,000 to $10,000 per day. Good luck with that. Yeah, they'll just keep right on doing it because they're lining their own pockets. It's all greed. I'm not selling you anything. Okay. I'm not chasing your wallet. Okay. I'm not trying to hustle you out of any money whatsoever. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. That's a pretty serious ulterior motive. Pretty devious of me to come up with that. But I like to talk to people, which is why I can sit here and ramble for 2 hours nonstop when no one's in the chat. But people will tune in, people will find out eventually. Afternoon chat will be a great show. We will have people in the Discord here voicing their opinions and having their opinions heard. It's just going to take a while. By giving myself 3 years to do this, and I think I'm giving it a fair shot. Okay. I don't think I have any unrealistic expectations at all. I'm not putting myself under any real pressure. I'm sitting on my couch in my living room, smoking my cigarettes, drinking my Gatorade, replacing my electrolytes. It's just part of my day now. I got no issue with it. When I shut off the live stream, first thing I do, generally because my laptop is hardwired, I have to jockey some things around so there's not wires stretched all across my apartment. But then I load a bowl, I smoke a bowl, and I go for a walk in the park. I get some fresh air, get the blood circulating, say hi to my neighbors. It's not a stressful life that I'm leading here, okay? Then I'm going to come home and make dinner. I know what I'm having tonight. I'm eating chicken wings. A single portion, 25 wings. I know, I hate to count them, but I have to because I can't believe I'm eating so darn many. Well, I'm eating at home, so I am saving some money. I'd hate to be going to a restaurant and try to eat 25 wings. Could get pricey. But my life is very slow pace, kick back, relax now. Okay. I understand what it's like to work. I was on the go, and I always had a side hustle back in the day, and I did what everybody does to make a living and make ends meet, to build for their future. You're out there grinding away. I understand that. That's why I'm trying to make this show stable and reliable and dependable, right? Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk about whatever's on your mind. Find out what's on everyone else's mind, right? What are people talking about? What are people thinking about? What's going on in their part of the world? We'll get there eventually. I created Ghost Mostly Media LLC. Okay. I created this show, Afternoon Chat. What we do with it is going to be up to the chat. It's going to be up to you guys. I'm presenting it to you. It's yours now. If you decide to make it successful, so be it. If you decide that it should not be successful, so be it. You're in control now. I've done my part. I'm here, and I'm getting here every day. So let's see how this works out. Yeah, my back's bothering me a little bit today. It'll straighten out when I go for a walk. Just got to be patient. Things come around. I know there's a lot of people that are on the airwaves right now that are trying to feed you a bunch of bunk and trying to make you think that your neighbor's a bad guy. But it's not true. Your neighbor's the guy that's going to save you when the shit hits the fan. Okay. That same guy that you only say hi to. Yeah. He'll be the one. That's always the story. When the natural disaster hits, it's always the neighbors that save you. It's never the government. The government is always last on the scene and they're the first ones to leave. Yeah, they'll pull you out, but then they'll leave you standing there on the shore and they'll boogie on. They got to go. They're hit and run bandits at best. No, your neighbors, your fellow citizens. I don't care what town you live in America. Every citizen in that town, they're all on the same team. Human beings trying to stay alive, trying to survive, trying to work and build and save and get somewhere and improve. Okay. We're all on the same team. They just don't want you to think that we are. Because they make money when they convince you that so and so is your enemy. So and so does not have your best interest at heart. Right? Yeah, beware of anybody that's telling you everybody else is the bad guy except them. Yeah, these people are always talking about transparency, and accountability. Generally, they're not either. They have the ability, but they don't have the stability. They could be there for you, but they won't be. It's your neighbors. It's the guy that lives down the block and around the corner that you never even seen before. He's going to save your life when push comes to shove. He'll be there for you, or you'll be there for him. Okay, that's just life, right? They want you to think that he's against you, but he's not. Even the greedy politician, he's not against you. He's just not for you. He's for the corporation that paid him off. He's representing them. He uses your vote to represent the guy that bribed him. My question, to Donald Trump, my question is, what's the minimum bribe? I can't compete with the maximum bribe. I saw the $400 million jet. I can't compete on that level. What I need to know is, what is the minimum bribe? What's the low bar? Well, I've got some things in this country I'd like to straighten out. Tell me what the low bar is. Maybe I can meet that low bar. I'll start a GoFundMe page. Well, I heard you could get a pardon for a couple of million, right? But what's the minimum bribe you're willing to accept in order to help the American people? What's the bare minimum? What about $100,000 cash? Is that worth something to you? If I were to give you $100 million cash, could you give all $1 Americans health care? No, not enough. I got to raise the, oh, you want more than, oh, I see. So it's okay for you to take bribes. And it's just a shame that I can't afford to be the one bribing you. Oh, I got it now. Now I understand. That's the way my mind is working. Okay. What's the minimum bribe? Your local politician. What do you got to pay to get zoning changed? Or what do you got to pay? You know what I mean? It's kickbacks. That's all they respond to is bribes and kickbacks, right? What's the minimum? Tell me what the minimum is. Set that goal, right? I'm teasing, okay? I understand the way that crime works and all this grift and graft and corruption. I understand it better than you believe. I worked 33 years in Vegas. I saw it all. Okay. I think I saw every possible thing there was to see. The hardest part is understanding that you can't control everything. So you can't worry about everything. You can only worry about the things that you can fix, the things that you can take action against. Okay. You can't worry about this other stuff. Right now, I cannot fix the war in Ukraine. So I can't let it stress me out to the point that it gives me an ulcer or keeps me from sleeping at night. I've got to be able to compartmentalize that. I've got to put that into a place. I'll come back to it and I'll examine it for an hour tomorrow. But for right now, I've got to put it out of my mind so I can get some rest, right? There are things that we cannot fix, right? But there are some things that we can fix, right? And we need to focus our attention on what we can fix, not on what we can't fix. If, well, I talk all the time about making a list, positive influences on your life and negative influences on your life. And I talk consciously about consciously scheduling more time for the positive column and consciously scheduling less of my time for the negative column, right? That's part of it, right? But if I put my brain on that negative side of the column all the time, I'm going to get an ulcer. It's going to drive me nuts. I can't solve these situations. They're too negative, right? I can only allow so much time for the negative. I've got to consciously switch to something positive. I've got to believe that that glass is half full. I can't worry about the half that's not there. Okay? It's half full. You can't let this stuff eat you up because your health is tied in with your mental. It all works together in unison, right? If you get stressed out, it has negative connotations on your body. They've proven this with like chess players, right? They hook up all the electrodes and whatnot, and as the guy gets stressed out, his breathing changes, his heart rate changes, he starts to sweat profusely, right? Physical based on mental. They've got to work together, right? It's just the way it is. You can't you can't ignore your mental health the same as you can't ignore your physical health. If you were to cut your arm, you might need a bandage, right? Well, same thing. If you get damaged mentally, you might need a bandage mentally. And that bandage could be putting yourself into counseling. It could be shutting off and refusing to watch the news for a solid week. It could be not to attend this group that is doing negative things or focusing on negative things. Don't allow yourself to spend time in that type of an environment. It's the same thing if you're growing a plant. It needs sunlight, it needs water. You can't just give it water and no sunlight, or you can't just give it sunlight and no water. It's got to have a mixture of both, right? Same thing with your physical body and your mental health. Physical and mental health, they've got to work together, and they've got to have a little of everything in order to survive, in order to thrive. All things are good in moderation. Can you get too much counseling? Probably, but I haven't seen that yet. But probably, though the way it works for us human beings, apparently all things are okay in moderation. But whenever you cross the path to an extreme, then it gets out of hand, and then it can be bad for you. So shoot to be the shoot for a modicum of mediocrity. Shoot for the middle. Don't strive to be the best. Just strive to survive. You'll learn to thrive that way, and then eventually you'll be in a position to become the best at something, right? I mean, feel free to jump in the chat and tell me to shut up. It's okay. I don't mean to ramble about this stuff. It's just, one man sitting on his couch talking to his computer. But, there's only so much that you can control. There's only so much that you can handle as a person. And at some points in our life, your plate gets full, your belly gets full. You can only take so much in. And right now, the news in our country is a negative in my life. I don't have that much time to watch the news. I'd rather watch a sitcom, okay? Something escape from reality, right? Something that makes me laugh, right? I much prefer that to watching the news. So it makes me sad, makes me feel doom and gloom, like the whole world's out to get me. The whole world's not out to get me. Most of the world doesn't even know I exist. How can I think they're out to get me? I know they're giving people complexes and stressing people out, and they're controlling them and manipulating them and doing what they can to grift and steal money from them. It's sad. Human beings, we're strange animals. We really are. In a lot of ways, it's kind of sad. Okay. Um, I mean, take a look at just the lies that we see on a daily basis on the news nowadays. It's not good. Human beings lie for a number of reasons. I mean, you have the psychotic guy that has to lie. If he's not lying, he doesn't feel that he's participating. Okay, you got that sicko, right? He's number one. But then you can break it down, and generally a liar is trying to hide something. They're trying to hide their greed, their shame, or their fear, right? Sometimes it could be a combination of two or all three, but when they lie, they're trying to put on a virtual mask or a disguise of some type so that you don't see the real them. Okay. They want to present themselves in a much more socially acceptable form. So they tell you the lie. And it's sad, but a lot of people never learn this. And a lot of people are rather naive and they are easily deceived by these people. Um, the one that jumps to mind is another Donald Trump. A lot of people want to believe that he's a religious man. He is not. He plays one on TV, okay, but he's not a religious man. I know he's not a religious man by the way I see him treat other people. A religious man would not treat other people in such a harmful manner. I'm not saying I'm pro religion or I'm anti religion. What I'm saying to you is Donald Trump is not a religious man, even though he pretends that he is. When you judge people, when you look at people and what they're saying and what they're doing, you can tell, okay? A religious man would not do what Donald Trump is doing in many instances in our lives. A religious man doesn't think that he is a king. Okay. Let's just leave that at that. Unless you want to get in the chat and talk about religion, then we can. But I'm not going to talk about religion any other than that. Just I consider Donald Trump and to be a false prophet. It appears that way to me sitting on my end of my couch. Okay. He's a false prophet. He wants you to believe that he is religious when he is not. Okay. That's just sad. But people have always used religion to their advantage throughout time. I explored religions and I went to every church I could find when I was a young man. I saw by when I inspected all the religions, I found a few things in common in all of them. Number one, they all took money in exchange for services. All of them. Yeah. And I asked questions and I did not get what I considered to be complete answers. And when I did get some of the answers, they didn't add up to me. And some of them were laughable. I mean, that was just hilarious. I never shied away from those conversations. Well, as you can tell from watching this show, I don't shy away from much. Okay. uh, I'm not afraid to talk about anything you want to talk about. I can guarantee you that. But once again, let me say my disclaimer, let's stay within YouTube's community guidelines. Okay. Don't get me in any trouble with YouTube. I get into enough trouble on my own. The channel is progressing along just fine now that we're up and running, and we're getting a smooth 2 hour live stream. I'm just elated. I'm happy. I'm feeling like we're making progress. I feel like we're getting somewhere. I think I think Friday will be a month. I think Friday will be 20 different shows I've attempted. I think I failed for like the first 15. Okay. I might have gotten a 2 hour stream once in a while, but it was never reliable, never dependable. And I'm seeing no glitches in this whatsoever. I don't have any buffering going on. The audio and video appear to be working perfectly. The chat appears functional. So I'm happy with the progress thus far. And I think we can only improve. We'll keep making it better. I'm trying to come up with a routine to start the show and a routine to wind the show down, right? To close it out. My main theme that I've been trying to bounce around and reword each day is for people to be nice to each other. Be kind to one another at all times. Be courteous, be patient, be understanding. As human beings, we value these traits, okay? And that value is important. Don't fly off the handle and call a man a jerk. Try talking to him. Or if you can't talk to him civilly, try leaving him alone. I consider leaving other people alone and not judging them, not picking on them, not lashing out at them. I consider that to be a good thing. So I'm not going to speak poorly about any particular race. I'm not going to speak poorly about any particular religion. I'm not going to speak poorly about any particular man. Okay. I think that we all have weaknesses, we all have flaws, and we also all have something that we excel at, that we're good at, that we are above average at. Okay. I hope that people will take this into consideration and just take a beat and avoid the road rage, avoid the what do you call it, Karenicity that our society seems to be breeding. Okay. Leave other people alone. Become tolerant. Okay. Become tolerant and exercise your patience. I know it's a rush, rush, hurry, hurry world. I got one speed. I call it if and when. Okay. Slow down. Take a breath. Take a beat. Okay. Be patient. Be understanding. Be kind. Be compassionate. All these traits have value to humans and human life. Okay. I think that if you control your fears and allow yourself to trust and to love and to befriend, that your life is going to have a better value and a better value to you, right? That's just my belief. Doesn't mean I'm right, but feel free to jump in chat and disagree with me. Tell me where I'm going wrong. I haven't looked to see if there's even comments on this channel. I have no idea what's going on. I should, well, I'll probably focus on that stuff this weekend. You know, it'll give me something to do when I'm not watching my Lions because I got to wait for them to play on Monday night. They're getting ready to play the Ravens, and it should be an excellent game. I'm looking forward to it. I think that the Lions defense will put themselves on the map this Monday night. They're going to let it be known. The Lions defense is improved. The Lions defense will be one of the top defenses in the league. I'd like to see him number one or number two, but you know, it's going to take a while. Teams take a while. They must gel. They must learn to work together and function as one. But I believe that the Lions got the right leadership. I believe that they have the right personnel. They're going to pull it all together, and it's going to be a fun season. I'd say that's my favorite show. I mean, other than this one, of course, but my favorite show on TV, I guess, is The Lions playing anybody. And for the show on Monday night, I'll tell you, they're playing in Baltimore. So listen, and you're going to hear chants for Jared Goff in Baltimore. The Lions fans travel extremely well. They will represent. They will be there in the stands, and they will make themselves known. They will be heard. You got to respect that. I like pro football. I don't get into college too much. I watch a little bit of Michigan, Michigan State, Western Michigan University, Central Michigan. Do you notice a theme here? Oh, Michigan. Yeah. But yeah, I follow the Tigers a little bit, but they need pitching. Tigers need middle relief, and they need it desperately. I feel like if they had stronger middle relief, they'd have even more wins than they have. We're running out of games, and it's getting to be time for the playoffs, and that's going to separate them, right? It's not as exciting as football to me. I mean, I like baseball, okay, but I prefer to watch football. I back in the day in Vegas, I was doing the uh, fantasy leagues and all that in the late '80s. Okay, yeah, a long time before it was popular. Now that it's popular, I choose not to do it. There's too many people doing it. Everybody I know is in 5 or 6 leagues. It's too much. Yeah. Back in the day, I used to get in one, and I was generally the commissioner. Well, it was fun. I understand the game, but it can also get ridiculous. It can, if you want to get too into micromanagement. Fantasy football in itself can become tedious too. All things in moderation. Don't take anything to the extreme. That's what I've been preaching since I've been on here. Okay. I think that's a secret to a healthy life is don't go to extremes. You want to have a drink, have a drink. Don't drink till you black out. Right? My personal opinion. Okay. That's the only perspective I can offer you until this chat populates. Once the chat populates, I'll be able to offer you many perspectives, hopefully. All right. With all that being said, let's wind this down for today. Hopefully, we'll get some people in here chatting tomorrow. We'll be on at 3 p.m. from 3 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Show's called Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly, and be safe, be patient, be understanding, be happy. We'll see you tomorrow. Ghost Mostly signing off.